I'm on vacation. However, I made time to play Blue Star Protocol for 6 hours, 5.5 hours today on stream. And this is a game that I'm going to continue to play when I get back. I should be back Wednesday. There's a lot of problems. Now, I personally like the game. I think the gameplay is very fun. I thought the dungeon, because we only have one dungeon available, I'll get to that in a moment. The loop of that dungeon was actually pretty fun as well, to be honest with you. Um, I really think at the end of the day, the issue is this game is trying to be a mobile MMO gacha, and it's suffering from a lot of the pain points of Tower of Fantasy. If you didn't like Tower of Fantasy, well, you're probably not going to like this game. So let's just go over it, man. I mean, so the story quests are locked, right? If I were to try to do the main story right now, it says I have 9 hours left. I played the game for roughly about, again, 5.5, 6 hours. The first hour of me just skipping got me up to date. And I was like, wow, that was quicker than I expected. That's crazy, right? An hour of content. Um, and I was like, oh, okay, what do I do? And the game doesn't really tell you what to do. And it's kind of all over the place, to be honest. The surrounding systems, other than combat, actually seem really underbaked or not fun. So then I said, okay, let's do some combat. So I come to this area. This area, each circle is a different dungeon, right? So I go to Tina's Land. That's in a day. I go to this, Chaotic. That's in a day. This one, a day. 9 days, or however many days this one was, right? 5. There's one available at the moment, and it's not even that one. It's this Goblin one. Goblin Layer. There's a normal, hard, and master. Master's not coming out for 17 days. Hard mode is not achievable at the moment. We're all hard stuck. You need to get a score of 3830, and well, that's just not happening, right? The normal score is I'll show you 1870, and you're not hitting 3830, right? You're just not hitting it, right? What's happening is if you look at the rewards here, pretty much you are here to farm. You do this over and over and over again. The dungeons are infinitely farmable. Granted, it's only one dungeon at the moment. And the point is you're hoping to get a epic item. When you get an epic item, you are then able to either use the epic item or dismantle the epic item to then go to a specific shop to purchase and get different types of gear. So, for example, for my character, I was able to dismantle a couple of legendaries I didn't need, and I was able to buy a ring, a level 40 ring to bring my character up, right? I was able to buy, I believe I bought these gauntlets or whatnot. And so right now, in terms of like progressing your character and whatnot, it's pretty much, hey, do this goblin layer and do it 1,000 times. Now, granted, it is fun and the boss mechanics to it were cool, but if you're not doing this goblin layer a million times, log off. Don't even bother playing the game, like just straight up, because your progression is just not really going to be there, right? Um, so that's the first big two pain points that are very frustrating. The next thing is, before I even get to the other systems, the way they do the open world bosses is diabolically bad. It's actually extremely disgusting. And if someone wants to say, well, hey, this is what World of Warcraft did 10, 20 years ago, it's a 20-year-old system. So these icons are all bosses, right? So it says the Golden Juggernaut. If I were to track and navigate to this location, we're going to go there, and the boss is not going to be spawned in. To my understanding, the boss spawns every 30 minutes to an hour. You'll comment and let me know. I probably got the timing wrong on it. But you can navigate. It's going to auto-navigate for me. The bosses will not always be there. And there's no internal cooldown timer that's going to tell you, like in Genshin or WoW, in Genshin, like you beat a boss, hey, you have 20 seconds before this respawns. It's not happening. And so if you look right now at the chat, it says line 214, Frost Ogre, right? Why are people doing callouts? 205 has Frost Ogre. The reason why people are giving callouts is you need to farm bosses for materials. The problem being is bosses do not spawn that often. So these people saying 205 has Ogre, you would have to click P on your keyboard, And then they have a line system. It's their individual servers. So you would then type in 203 at the bottom, or you could scroll, whatever the case may be. And if you would try to find a line, people have to do call outs to say, hey, the boss is here. If the boss is here right now when we come here, I'd be very surprised, but I very much doubt it. And this system in itself just does not feel good. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people are not chatting in the, like when you sit down and you're spawn camping a boss, right? So there's a bunch of people sitting here. They're just waiting. They're literally just waiting for the boss to come in. They're not going to communicate. They're not going to talk. It is what it is. You know, but as an MMO, I guess their whole point was like, hey, maybe you could talk and make friends. I've tried to talk to like 20 people today on stream. Everyone was just ignoring me. I was like, oh, okay. I guess they don't like Tylenol because that's my character's name. So this system as well is very unfortunate and kind of a situation where if you look, I'm going to go to my season hub. For defeating elites and bosses, you have to defeat them a certain amount of times. So it says defeat the target 3 times. So I defeated this boss 3 times, but now it resets. Now I need to defeat it an additional 15 times. Are you fucking kidding me? To get 20 Gacha currency pull. I think this is the Gacha currency. Then once you unlock that, you'll get to step 3. And step 3 maybe will be 20, maybe it'll be 30. I don't fucking know. It's a situation of no respawn timer indicated there. You have to rely on people to tell you, hey guys, go to line 2, go to line 20, go to line 200. That is not good. I'm sorry, it's just not good. If you want to consider that as like a social aspect, that's just ass, man. So, not a fan of that, right? That off rip really was bothering me. I'm going to be honest with you. This whole life skill crafting system, not a fan. Not a fan. Maybe I just wasn't understanding it too much. I'm extremely overwhelmed, and I don't think the game has really done a good job explaining it to me. I was around mint picking a little bit in this game, and it's not normal mint picking. When you pick up flowers and stuff, it takes like 2 to 3 seconds, and you get 4 flowers. It's kind of nutty. You don't just press the button for some reason. This whole section is very just confusing. It's confusing, and I just don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what they're going for here. Because it just seems like... It seems like the game is lacking content, and their content is, hey, go fight this boss 30 times, but it respawns every hour. So you gotta wait. Hey, go pick up these flowers. But it takes 5 seconds to pick up a flower, right? And it's just unfortunate because this game has been in development for 7 years, right? 7 years. People were waiting for this game. They were going to play Genshin Impact until this came out. And when you throw in these time gates and just all these weird systems that are really just time gated or blocked by certain things. Again, I'm not saying all of the mineralogy and gemology and culinary. I'm not saying this is time gated. I don't know. I didn't touch some of these because I was just too overwhelmed. They did a horrible job explaining this. It's a bad feeling. It's a bad feeling. And it's just super unfortunate. It is very, very unfortunate because the combat of the game itself is very good. It really is. It's actually something that I very much enjoy, and I'm going to thug it out and try to continue to play the game for that, but the game just has issues, man. It really does. The talent tree is fine. Nothing really egregious here out of the ordinary that I found to be horrendous or insulting or anything. Like, you know, that stuff is pretty normal. Skills, you're level locked, right? So I can't get to I can't do that till I'm level 25. And then obviously if I want to increase these, well, I'm now going to need these. How do you obtain this? And you got to figure it out, right? So they have like talent books and whatnot, and yeah, man, it's interesting. It's interesting, and we didn't even really touch on it too much. Well, we didn't touch on it at all, but yes, there is gacha. So let me see if I can pull this up one moment. This is where the gacha comes in for pay-to-win aspects, right? I don't care about cosmetic gacha. It doesn't matter to me. What happens is you are pretty much getting an echo. When you are in combat, you can spawn this echo and it could do certain effects. So currently the one I have a Void Ogre, whatever. It gives all of these give passives. So this is a 5% HP passive, whatever the case may be. And I believe there's only 3 that are obtained exclusively through Gacha, either 3 or 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. And a lot of these you can get just through farming bosses and drops, right? Or if you were to do Gacha. The problem is this is opening up just a level of practice that is probably going to wind up being dog shit, right? The word on the street, I don't know how true this is if you're a DPS, you don't really need to worry about the Gacha one. You don't need to worry about the Gacha too much because there is one that is super... it's honestly the best in slotted. I think the passive gives like crit damage or something. I'm trying to see if I can find it. But the point is that I don't like this system. I think adding Gacha to MMOs, to me, is just a red flag. It's not something that I think is very good. And let's just say, for example, if it's done well and tastefully now for, let's say, a month or 2, whatever the case may be, how long is that going to last? How long is that going to last? Now, granted, with the current dungeon right now that's on there, you have to do the mechanic in order to win. If you don't do the mechanic, you're going to die and wipe. And if you don't have like a healer or the proper teammates, you will wipe. Because we were playing a dungeon with a couple of the buddies and, well, they didn't know what they were doing, so we died. So it's not like this is going to completely like remove any type of skill, but it's just an advantage that's there. And I believe you're only limited to 3 gacha pulls free to play a week. They might have changed that on launch, but that was something I saw in the 1010 video. And again, it's just like, okay, you know, there's an you can auto play the game. I mean, if I get off my mount and I hit H, I mean, I'm not in combat right now, but if I were to go into combat and I just hit H, the game's going to play itself. And it's just like little things where, again, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like if you want the game to play itself or whatever, like that's fine, I guess. Like, do you, boo? But it seems like they're really trying to make the MMO for mobile so they can profit off of mobile. But I think a lot of MMO hardcore heads are going to hate this game. I saw King Gathalion's tweet. I even saw MTash's tweet. I think a lot of MMO heads are going to dislike this game. And I think a lot of Gacha players are going to dislike this game because it's a completely different gameplay route. So I think these two styles clash horrendously. I would much rather just pay $20 a month to play a good MMO like I'm doing with WoW at the moment. And yeah, it's pretty unfortunate because, again, the combat's fun and I'm going to keep playing it, but there's a lot of problems. I can't sit here and tell you in good faith, although I'm having fun and enjoying it, that I would recommend this to you if you're looking for a true MMO experience. If you're looking for a Gacha experience, just go play WoW. If you're looking for an MMO experience, just go play like WoW, right? Sarah made a tweet. It's like Throne and Liberty anime, but worse. And I think that's probably the best way to put it. So, look, man, I like the game. I do, but it definitely has some limitations. And, yeah, very disappointing. It's honestly just disappointing. I don't know why they did this. Well, I know why. They want to make money off of it. But I think it's going to scare those two crowds away. I don't think you're going to have the hardcore MMO heads playing this. So, that being said, those are my thoughts. And yeah, I'll do a more in-depth breakdown once we have more time and we could do more dungeons and more raids. But this is the first day impressions. And, well, the process of getting gear and kind of farming the dungeon, I'm not necessarily mad at. It's the fact that we're only getting one dungeon and locking so much stuff behind so many barriers. If I have to recommend, hey, just play the game in 14 days to someone so they could have fun, that's a problem. That's a sign to me that there's probably going to be a pretty decent drought with this game. So I love you. Mwah. I'll see you in the next one.